So what we're suffering from here is what a lot of people suffer from. The plants are starting to fall over. They're getting suckers coming out all over the place. See these extra branches coming out. And the plants themselves are just getting overcrowded and a little bit too humid inside there. Remember, tomatoes like good air moving around them. Cucumbers like it a bit stuffy, but tomatoes like fresh air. So it's very simple how to solve this problem. You can see I've got a couple of canes in here, but the plants will only wind up them if they're actually attached to them. The plants will only climb them if they've got something to climb. So what I use is very simple. I've got a bit of this old string here, and I just cut bits of this string off with this blunt knife, and then I make a figure 8 loop around the plant. I don't tie it really tight to it like this. I actually put this kind of figure 8 in. The reason for that is I can then tie it over here, and the plant is attached to the cane, but it's not getting crushed into it. Let me just show you what I mean. Here's another camera I prepared earlier. If it works. Here we go. You see what I mean? There's the figure 8 in the string, and there's a loose knot at the front, and that then holds the plant closer to the cane. And I'm going to put another one up here. Bit of string. Don't worry about it not being exactly the right size. Just remember to get this figure 8 in, because if you tighten the stem of the plant too tight to here, or the string's too tight round the stem, then what happens is it chokes off the sap and the plant gets damaged and it simply doesn't grow. So that'll hold it really nicely and that'll grow up there. Now you can see that one's doing okay. Now down the bottom of here, if you can see it, we've got another sucker. Now tomato plants throw these suckers out. We call them suckers. They're not really, they're new branches. This is a vine and it likes to throw off new arms in different directions. There's some over here as well. Can you see? When they're little they look like that, but when you neglect them they grow very big. Now what that would do is that's taking a lot of the goodness from the plant itself. You can see there's a little one and there is a great big sucker. Now this is actually the main stem. You can see the main stem has the truss on. This is the truss. This is your tomatoes. This is the sucker, which will grow trusses as well, but the tomato plants on them won't be that good. Now because this is so well established, I'm not going to cut it out. This one, I'm just going to pull off like that. There's another one here, which I think I can probably just break off. Yeah, that'll come off. But if I try and break that one off, I'll snap the stem completely. So what I'll do is, I'll simply get my knife and I will cut it off. There we go. Nice and sharp, nice and clean. I'm just going to tidy that up a minute. And as if by magic, and then I can tie this one to here. See the other little sucker in there? See him in there? I'll just take him out. Now I'll tie this up and come back here. There's a lot of leaves in here that's causing a bit of this kind of like congested air. Now you can see where I've cut some previous ones off, but there's still loads in on these lower branches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spot where my truss is first. So my first truss is here. You can see it, it's coming out of here. So I don't want to cut anything off above there at all, because this is feeding all these leaves. These leaves here are all doing photosynthesis and they're feeding that truss. But these bits on the bottom, I can take them out, tidy that up a little bit, and then lift them out completely. Same over. Oh, see there's a truss right down on the bottom of that one, so I'll leave that alone. Coming along here, you see it'll grow these trusses out all over the place because it's trying desperately to turn into a vine. So I hope that's made a little bit of sense to you. You cut off the lower leaves, let the ventilation improve in the bottom, take out your suckers and secure your plants to the cane itself. Strings and canes are invaluable. Cutting the bottom leaves away is a great little trick to let the air circulate, and it reduces mould, blossom end rot, all sorts of things. If you're growing bush variety tomatoes, you don't take out your suckers because that's going to make your bush. But if you're growing climbers, which most tomatoes are that people grow these days, you take out your suckers as soon as you can. Now, when you're getting to the top of your plant, a lot of folks don't know when they should stop the growth. Now, by stop the growth, I mean you take the top out completely. By taking that out, that tells the plant that it's the end of the growing season and it's time to really put the energy into the fruit. I normally count 5 of these trusses. I count 5 up. When I get to 5, I nip the top out. And that kind of lets the plant know, okay, time to set the fruit. Now, you might remember that there's a fair bit of goodness in the soil down here, but not enough to keep it going forever. So what we do is we have to start feeding it, and I'm about to start feeding it pretty much about now. The reason I'm choosing to start feeding it now, despite the plants still look lovely and healthy, is I don't want them to use up all the goodness and then me flood a load more in. So I'll start using a liquid feed about once, maybe twice a week. I'll put it in, and that's the liquid fertiliser that I've showed you how to make. And I'll feed that to the soil, remember, the soil, not the plant. Oh, that feels, oh no, that's all right. I was going to say that feels a little bit dry, but it's not, it's all right. It's not, if I squeeze that and water came out, it's too wet. If I squeeze it, then it crumbles away, too dry. But like that, it stays in the shape, that's okay. So we'll feed that twice a week, and that'll be wonderful. I'll be using the liquid comfrey or the liquid weed mix that I make. I think that's... Now what I will be doing is with the space underneath here, I'll be dressing this with comfrey leaves. You know, one of the very best free fertilisers you can grow in your own garden or in a bucket or in a window box is comfrey. Once you've got it established, it just keeps coming back year after year. It's easy to harvest. You just snap it off with your hands, chop up the stems and the leaves into small pieces, give them a twist, they'll break apart really easily, and then spread them on the soil around the bottom of your tomatoes and cucumber plants. That way, as the plant starts to break down, all that goodness that's in that plant goes directly into the soil and feeds your plant. So it will also help keep the moisture in. It keeps the soil nice and humid and underneath there. Now comfrey, you might think, oh, but if I cut it down, I've lost it. No, you can harvest comfrey 2, sometimes 3 times a year, and it'll keep coming back up. Now the variety to plant is Bocking 14. The reason that I say that is that that's easy to manage. It grows by division of root. The root grows, you get another plant. The other varieties grow by seed. And when you consider that each plant can have thousands of seeds on it, don't make the mistake like I did. I put in 6 plants that weren't bocking, and within 2 years I needed a combine harvester. So you've seen on the big tangled mess over there on how the tomatoes are doing. But I thought we'd have a quick look at these ones that I've got growing in the plastic tubs. So here you can see we actually started them off on a stick, a piece of cane. That was the first way of doing it. This is always the easiest way to actually... Why am I wearing a hat inside? Well, let me tell you, this is not really a hat. This is my mic stand. I don't know if you can see this little black thing on here, but that's a magnetic mic. Now, the other day, when the sound quality went lousy, it's because I took my hat off and forgot the mic was on. I do it all the time. I'll take it off like this. And then only when I actually put it back on my head again can you hear it. Anyway, getting back to this. Canes are what I use to start them off on all the time because they're easy to pop in, they're easy to tie to, and it works well. When they start to get too big for the top of the cane, I don't know if you can see I have a little bit of string here that's tied to the cane and then tied to the top, and I just wind it round the plant itself. Now if you're working in a greenhouse or in a garden and you've got short canes, for goodness sake, take a plant pot or something out, stick it on the top of the cane, because if you don't, there's every chance that you'll bend over and you'll put your eye out. So just stick a plastic carton like that on the top and it lets you know that that's what you want to avoid getting in your face. Now, because we've got these plants in here, it's very easy to strip off the bottom leaves from it and be able to see what we're doing. It's also just as easy to be, in fact, it's easier to be able to spot the suckers and just pull them out before they get too big. Now, as we said before, if, like I've done, you let it go too long and the sucker goes to a flower, then all I've done is I've nipped out the main stem. You see here? That would continue to grow into another part of the plant. I've just nipped that out. So this truss stays on and that will grow tomatoes like these ones. And they'll grow on, and you can see these ones doing quite well down here. And they'll grow well. Now this one is actually the main stem. That's the truss. Sorry, that's the runner. But this is the main stem. So I'm leaving that one to continue to grow. Now, I told you before that I normally count 5 trusses coming up before I nip the top out. The only time that I won't do that is if I'm going to train one of these right up and over the roof just for a bit of fun. I'll do that sometimes to see how big I can make a tomato plant. Can I get it into a vine? And it's amazing. They'll grow 4 metres tall, 5 metres sometimes. As long as they get the moisture and they get the feed, they'll just keep growing. But they don't give you so many lovely, good tomatoes. That's got to be said. Now, if we just put them one side a minute, the tying of them up and the feeding of them, which we've talked about, I'll show you the compost mix shortly that I use, the liquid feed. If we put that to one side up, well, you may be able to just see this cloggy mass in here. That's coriander. What I do is I grow it. In fact, I might be able to lift it out and let you see it quickly. I grow it and then I let it go to seed. And the reason I let it go to seed... it's like the bagpipes, isn't it? It smells nicer. The reason I let it go to seed is because I like fresh coriander seed in curries. And that's what this stuff is. This is what you pay a fortune for at the supermarkets. See these little bulby bits on the end? That is your coriander seed. Now if you let it grow and then let it dry, some of these are already starting to turn brown. When they get completely brown and dried, you harvest them, put them in a jar, and that's for your curries. I always grow coriander. It's just lovely. Very easy to grow as well. Some people complain, they'll say, oh, I grew coriander and it went straight to seed and I threw it away. I'm thinking, I let mine go to seed on purpose. Anyway, what I wanted to say to you was, we've got this growing here. We've been feeding it, they're growing beautiful, and now let's look at the trusses. Now, you can see on here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a 10th tomato all coming in on this truss. Now, if I leave these all on here, the ones at this end will harvest first, and they will be bigger, and as we go along, the harvest will take a little bit longer to ripen all the way down. So what I sometimes do is, on some of my trusses, I'll pull off the bottom ones and I'll leave maybe 4 or 5. Now that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking off these small ones from the end. They'll just go down into the compost. So now I've cut that down to 5. So this one will probably catch up and then the truss will ripen all at the same time. So then when I take the truss, I get pretty much the same size tomatoes all over the place, all mature at the same time, and because it's closer to the bottom, there's every chance this will ripen first. The reason it ripens first is because your trusses at the bottom are the first ones to normally get your tomatoes coming out, and they also get the first shot at all the nutrient that's going up the plant, so they get fed best. So they're the ones we want to harvest first. Now I did say I only do this with some of them, and that's because on the other ones I like to just let them ripen along the vine, and then I take off the individual tomatoes as they're ready. You can do it either way. If you want bigger tomatoes, stop them off at about 4. Then you should get the biggest tomatoes on your plant would be those 4 at the bottom. As you get higher, the tomatoes tend to get a little bit smaller. A final thing to be aware of is that when your plants get really high, you'll notice they get very thin. Well, if you've got lots of tomatoes and trusses up here, the weight on that can be quite a lot. So make sure you keep it very well supported, very well wrapped around. If you start to develop some big trusses like these babies down here, then get a bit of old net from the garden and just put it underneath the truss and tie it to the string, so it literally becomes a truss. It holds up the tomatoes and it stops the weight splitting these narrow stems. I think that'll do for today. I think the next time we need to come back to this is when they're getting nice and ripe. Now I'm just going to pop out and get some of that liquid feed and give these a bit of a drink. Now this is the liquid feed that I use. I use it on just about everything. Now, if you had asked me what the mix on it was, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you. It's pretty much just all the old long-term weeds thrown into a bucket, covered in water, and then left for donkeys. There we go. So here, the watering can, I just pour it in. I never bother measuring it too much. I know I should. People keep telling me that. And then a bit of a watering on each of the plants. So what I'm putting in there is a heavy dose of homemade free liquid fertiliser. I say free because it started its life as weeds, a dustbin and some water. That's better. Give it a bit of a drink. Nice and brown. Now you don't want to put too much on, you just want to put a bit on. But what I will do is, you might be able to see the straw bales at the back. I'll give them another soaking. I'll keep them nice and wet. And what we've got growing on there are all the cucumbers. Cues are a very hungry plant, so it doesn't hurt to put plenty of feed on here. And then I'll put water on after this, and then what that will do is it will help wash it all in. And in here, a couple of courgette plants. I call them courgette surprise, and the reason it's a surprise is it's simple actually. It's because I thought I'd planted something else instead completely. I thought I'd put spaghetti squash in, and then when they grew, there were courgettes. Who would have thought?